Merry Christmas. Not yet, but it's coming up. And I just want to tell you that before we start this episode of the Wadcast podcast, I have a lot of good, fun things to tell you. This episode is awesome. It's just unbelievable. I had on, I don't know if they had me on. I had them on. I was up in Portland, Oregon, and I was doing shows at Harvey's Comedy Club, and I got the chance to sit down with the biggest power couple in the CrossFit world. I would call them functioning fitness world now because they are no longer competing in CrossFit, and they have their own thing called street parking going on. If you know what I'm talking about Julian and Miranda Alcaraz. If you know, Julian is a games athlete, incredible games athlete. The guy's just a psycho on the floor. I guess that's what we'll call it. Just an awesome athlete. And Miranda, we all know, formerly known as Miranda Oldroyd. Miranda is just been an OG. She's a mom now. She's taken some time off and working on their business. We talk a lot about their business called Street Parking, which is amazing. And shows in Portland were really fun, except it rained the whole time I was there. What else is going on? I have so many shows. It's the end of the year. I'm wrapping it up. I'm in Anchorage and Wasilla, Alaska this weekend. Getting on a plane tomorrow. I'm heading up to Anchorage and Wasilla. I'm going to be doing shows there. I'm going to be going to CrossFit there. I'm going to record a podcast there. If you know anyone there that I should podcast with, let me know. I guarantee there's some kind of beast up there in Hawaii, some kind of abominable snowman. Is that how you say it? Abominable. That's a hard word. Anyways, yeah. So I leave tomorrow, heading up there. Come check out my shows. And then on the 17th, I'm in Lake Norman in North Carolina. The place is called the Galway Hooker. It's a comedy zone. So check that out. I'll be there. Then I'm taking off Christmas week. And then I head out to San Francisco, San Jose area. We're going to call it Sunnyvale. It's down near Cupertino. I just named a lot of cities in the Bay Area. Let's just go with Bay Area. The 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, I'll be at Rooster Tea Feathers. Rooster Tea Feathers. That's an original comedy club name. And I will be there. All the smarties come out to that. That's all tech people in Silicon Valley. So come out and check out my shows. Maybe, you know who I'm going to try to interview? Jason Kalipa. I'm going to do my best to sit down with that billionaire. That's right. Then I head up to Tahoe. Lake Tahoe. I'll be at Harvey's Casino in Lake Tahoe the whole week then. So that's like the shows are like the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th at Harvey's Casino, Lake Tahoe. That's a fun week. And from there, I go to Brad Garrett's Comedy Club in Las Vegas. That's the 13th through the 19th of January in Las Vegas. And then the following week, I'm in Worcester, Massachusetts at the Woo-Ha-Ha Comedy Club. And then the week after that, I'm at Laugh Boston in Boston. It's Laugh Boston. That's like the last, it's the 31st of February and the 31st of January, 1st of February. Weekend after that, I'm in Vancouver. It's a new comedy club. I think it's called the Comic Strip. I'll be there. And then I head off to Australia to the Adelaide Fringe Festival. All the tickets are available at eddieif.com. If you want to get tickets, you want to come out to one of my shows, go to eddieif.com. It's that simple. Or say, hey, I want to bring a group from my CrossFit gym to your show, and I will do something to get you free tickets. I will do whatever it takes, even if I have to eat the tickets myself and pay for them. That's how much I'm part of the community now. I am all community. Armin and Scott can make fun of me. I'm pro community. I've had a lot of good things happen lately thanks to people from CrossFit, and I'm starting to feel a little bit of the love, and so I'm giving back a little. So get your tickets, eddieif.com, or call me and say, hey, I'm bringing a group. I want to do something for my gym, do like a community outing, but there's no better thing. They've done it. A couple gyms have done it. It's really fun. You bring out a group. We all have a good time. I'll make you guys laugh. You get drunk. Maybe you hook up. Who knows? That's what everybody does when they get drunk. Don't they? I don't know. I'm so out of it now. It's been 10 years. 10 years I've been with my wife. I've only been married for 6, but I think about 10 years with I don't know. I have no idea. It's all starting to just become a blur. What else is going on? I've had a lot of great interviews. I hope you like the one with foundation training. I like comments. Send me messages. Tell me what you think. I'm kind of critical of people that are critical of me, so just kiss my ass. Just be like, you're the best. You're the greatest. We love the show. Now, you can tell me. I might get upset, but I listen. It hurts, and I might fire back a little bit because I'm insecure. But then I'm like, okay, they're right. I need to change that. Really trying to book up some really interesting guests for 2020. And here's the thing. We just did an episode I recorded today with the guys from O2 Recovery, and we filmed it for YouTube. It looks awesome. I think I'm going to start filming every episode, and hopefully the show can grow and get big on the internet. I'm going to cut little clips, put them on Instagram. I've had a whole bunch of people reach out to me about the job. I am looking for someone to work on the show. I'm not going to lie to you. I would prefer you live in LA. It's really hard if you don't live in LA because I've got to send you everything and then you've got to send it back. And it just, might be easier if you're just there. So sorry, that job is only open for people that live in the Los Angeles area. What else? Patreon. You want to help with the show? Go to Patreon. Patreon.com/wadcastpodcast or eddyif.com. No, I think it's, you can get to it from eddyif.com. You go to podcasts and then you go to, but probably the best way is, if you Google Wadcast Patreon, that probably works. Or if you go to wadcastpodcast.com and then I just paused because I'm not even going to tell you why. It's so gross. If you go to Wadcast Podcast and you can get to the Patreon from there. If you can donate any amount of money you want, but if you give, just Google Wadcast Podcast Patreon, you'll find it. If you give, just like a little bit of money, just a little bit, it's great. You get in a drawing, and you could get a Myopux or leopard claw. Leopard claw is a scraper. Use that to scrape areas in your body that have that are gunked up. And when I mean gunked up, sometimes you get adhesions where your blood doesn't flow correctly because there's some kind of slight injury or the fascia's gooked up, and you can rub that and scrape it out and it clears it all up and then allows the blood to flow, fixing whatever injury you may have. So they're really nice, and I think they say Wadcast Podcast on them. They're expensive too, so you're getting a good deal. Then the Myopux is an electronic muscle stimulator. I don't go anywhere without it now. I use it constantly. If you listen to any of my episodes with Gary Reinl about how to fix an injury, this is the number one way. Hook the pads up, turn it on, then you're going to send the signal to your muscles. It makes your muscles twitch, bringing blood to the area, and all the bad blood goes out to the lymphatic system. It's a great way to flush to expedite the inflammatory process. That's the best way of describing it. So all you do, donate $5 a month, and you can get in the drawing to win a Myopux. I believe the winner this week is a gentleman by the name Michael O'Malley. Mike O'Malley. Just donate, and you can win one of these. It's that easy, and you got a really good chance too. Thanks to everybody donating. Thanks to everybody that rates, reviews, comments, goes on the Instagram page, goes on the Facebook page. Gordon Wagner, Garth Willoughby, biggest fans ever. Jeremy Lesniak, You guys are great. Thank you for all the support. Hopefully I'll get an episode each week while I'm away during Christmas. You never know. But I don't think I've missed a week this year. So, who knew I could do this by myself? But I just want to thank you guys, and I hope you enjoy this episode with Julian and Miranda Alcaraz. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wadcast podcast. I am your host, Eddie Ift, and I am here at street parking.
You are, but we're inside, not on the street.
We are not on the street. We are at, it's like an undisclosed location. It's like this, I can't explain. We'll get into it. I'll let them explain it more than I will. But this is awkward. I'm not going to lie to you. This is very awkward. I feel like I'm in your home. It's usually like you come to me, I do the show. You both are looking at me. I feel like I'm on America's Got Talent and they're judges and I'm being judged right now. I'm in this incredible studio. I didn't have to do anything. There's a guy over here. What's his name again?
Salvi.
Jaime Salvi. James Salvi. What kind of name is Salvi?
It's
Filipino. Okay, I should know that.
It's funny, talk about awkward. We had a Jaime, and we just fired him 2 days ago.
Yeah, but this is a giant operation, you guys, and the voices.
Now it's really awkward.
The voices totally you guys are hearing are Julio Alcaraz and his wife. Julian.
Yes.
I said Julio.
Yes.
There is a Julio Alcaraz, though.
Probably. There's probably a lot of them.
He's like a politician or something.
I see.
Julian Alcaraz, I should know that. And Miranda Alcaraz, formerly known as a bunch of other names. You're like Prince.
P. Diddy.
Yeah, P. Diddy, formerly known as P. Diddy. I am here at their new endeavor. How long has this been going?
Street parking has been a business for 3 years now.
3 years, so it's not new.
This office has only been here for like a little over a year, though.
This office is incredible. I will let you guys explain what you're doing, but there's so much more I want to talk about. And if you've been involved in CrossFit in any way, which you are, most people that listen to this are CrossFitters.
Right.
There are some OCR people. There are some people just health and fitness. And then there's weirdo fans of mine that like me that just like they sit on their couch and they're like, well, at least he'll talk. So whoever you are.
How many? Like 5?
Yeah, probably. Maybe 3. Hey, James. I'm just joking. Anyway, everybody knows you from the games and turning down the games. One of the most incredible things ever. And you're like an OG.
Yeah, kind of.
You are, and you're so young. And you're an OG.
I don't know if I'm young. I don't consider myself to be an OG. I guess at this point I kind of am. But because I think of other people that were there before me as the OGs. So,
what year did you get in?
2000. I started CrossFit in 2007.
Oh, you weren't that. I just because when I got into it, I think I was 2008 or 9, and you just seemed like.
Yeah, I started working for CrossFit in 2008, early 2008.
Yeah, so you were already there.
Yeah.
And how'd you two meet? I mean, obviously CrossFit, but
not really. Kind of.
So we've always known each other, like our names in competition. We were in competition season around the same time. She came down cause she was doing level 1 seminars down in SoCal. She came down to the CrossFit gym that I was training at the time to visit a friend.
Was that when you were at Valley?
No, I was at CrossFit Training Yard.
This was like 2015.
Okay.
We met in 2015, formally.
Okay.
At the gym, because then from there we ended up doing classes started. We worked out together with the whole group, and then afterwards Miranda wanted to do one more workout, and I just joined her, and then we just kind of went from there. Had alone time, bonding over fitness, and then afterwards it was genuine. I was like, "Hey, would you like to go grab some food, some dinner?" And then,
well, actually, what happened was in LA. You've been to LA.
I live there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, someone tried to jump off the 405,
the 101,
the 101 bridge, commit suicide, and so they shut it down. And it was already
what day was that? That could have been me.
If it was, you're the reason we're all here.
Yeah, that's what I do. I bring people together. me and workouts. I love that your relationship was built on a WOD. Like, we WODed together, and then it was.
And then someone tried to commit suicide. So they shut down the 101, which just made it so you couldn't drive. Like even
you guys couldn't get to Whole Foods.
We couldn't go anywhere. And I was staying at a hotel that was like 20 minutes away, and I asked him, is there anywhere here that I can go walk to get some food? Because driving is not happening right now. And he said, I'll show you somewhere. And that's actually how we went and got food together. Yeah. Had that not happened, I would have just left and gone to Chipotle by my hotel probably.
Yeah. Aroma Cafe.
Aroma Cafe, where's that?
It's in North Hollywood, Toluca Lake.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, Aroma Cafe. Mm-hmm. Off Tahunga.
So are you still training at a level, like games level? Like, are you going for it again or no?
No, definitely not. I definitely have said goodbye and made peace with like leaving that competitive scene. Mostly one, there's no future in it. And two, you just,
no opinion there.
You just gotta, sometimes it's just like to be honest.
We could talk forever.
Yeah. So I think for me, I got to a point where, because my goal was never to win the CrossFit Games, and going there showed me more internal reflection, like, oh, I am capable of doing this. Mm-hmm. Great, good job, checklist. Let's move on to things that have more meaning.
Sure.
For me personally, right? So there's obviously people out there still doing it because they have meaning to them now. Totally fine. But at some point, like for us, we met each other, we moved in together, finances, baby, business, like you want to focus on the things that are going to set you up long term. And so that was a good piece, like a peaceful goodbye for me. And now I'm at a point with all the stuff that she's shown me. Like I used to eat like an asshole. I have to be completely honest. Like
I don't think you were mean.
I used to eat like one.
Oh, I thought you said I used to be like one.
No. I used to eat like one. So even like nutrition, realizing that my youth was kind of getting me by at the time.
How old are you now?
I'm 30 now.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the time I was 26 eating like an a-hole.
And
you can.
Yeah.
But once that kind of slowed down, I started realizing, all right, I got to clean up. I have to have a better understanding for what I'm doing. I'm getting older. I'm not training as much. And so now I feel like I found a good place where I'm happy working out. I have fun with it. It's just part of my life. Mm-hmm. It's part of our life. It's part of our family's life. It's part of we built our business around our lifestyle. And cleaned up my eating, and I feel great.
But being as good as you were, like you were in the games in 2015?
Yeah.
And then you qualified again when the baby...
In 17,
17.
Yeah.
And you had to turn it down because that was...
I didn't have to.
No, it
was a choice.
Yeah, I get it. And I understand it. That's to me, you look at life and it's like, what's more important?
Yeah.
I think your child is, and your wife giving birth. People don't understand what a big deal it is when a woman's giving birth. Like,
oh, man.
Like I was in the room sitting with my wife, and she did C-sections both times. And both times people were like, wasn't that the most love you ever felt for your baby? I'm like, no, I was worried about my wife the whole time. Yeah. I'm watching my wife get this surgery.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know that baby. People think it's weird. I'm like, I didn't know that baby. I never met that baby before. It was inside her. The doctor tried to give it to me. I was like, stranger danger. I'm like, I'm looking at my wife. They've got her guts up on her tits. I'm like, put those back. Like this. I was traumatized by what my wife was going through. And so there was a chance for me on going on tour that my wife could give birth while I was away on tour. And there was this, should I go? Shouldn't I go? And people were like, I can't believe you're, and there was a guy when we just did our 68-mile race, his wife was supposed to give birth.
No, why? What?
Thank God I had a satellite phone with me. And I'm like, give your wife this number in case you have to get out of here if she goes into labor. But so I completely understand. There's probably some CrossFitters out there like, dude, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do a sport that just came about.
I would say, I think what made it easy for me was in 2015 I did go and I experienced it, and it was the worst experience of my life. Like, it was so bad. And so being there, because I did a little podcast previously, and I explained, like, my purpose was not to go to the games to win. It was just the second time around was just to kind of qualify and prove to myself that I was not a fluke and that I meant to go. Because you make it once, people shift self in and out. But showing that you can go back. Now that's when you're like, all right.
I don't think anybody that's there is a fluke. I think there's too much that goes into it over too much time.
Yeah.
That if you're there, you're.
But you know what's funny is that Castro was the one who told Becca, he's like, do you think Julian was a fluke?
Yeah, because
that
he's
was
an
the year.
instigator.
That was the year that Bridges got knocked out, and 2 up-and-comers came in. And then, so it was just kind of, but at the end of the day, it was for me to kind of close out and know that I'm good. My fitness right now is still pretty, I want to kind of close out this conversation and talk about other ones. I did the first open workout, and I think I beat Froning in the first one, like 20.1 or whatever it was. Yes, I'm in shape still.
But are you working out 3 times a day?
No, just once.
Just once.
Just once. There's times where we'll do like a morning bro sesh, and then we'll do the Main Street parking workout with the crew because we always work out together as a group, and that's fun. So.
Oh, that's pretty good that you can maintain that on one.
Yeah, but nutrition has been key though.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Everything. As you get older, nutrition, sleeping, everything.
Yes.
Ronnie Teasdale said something funny once to me. I love Ronnie.
Only once?
I sent him a video today that I said, this is going to be you. I'll show it to you later. It's pretty disgusting. Ronnie said that he used to test himself like every year, like see what his back squat was or see what his shoulder press was or whatever it was. And then if he could come within like 5% of his 1 rep max,
satisfying,
he wouldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, because there's so much time to develop more skill, or there's only so much time. I might as well go work on other things because that's still there.
Yeah.
And I was like, that totally makes sense when you see people just coming in the gym and hit it. What are you doing? You're working something that you have, or you're trying to get it a little bit better. But he was all about maintaining. And now he's sunning his butthole.
Yeah. Maybe that's why it's working.
That went super viral.
I know.
Yeah. Ronnie, he texted me and he said twice I've been in the New York Post. Once it's because we were abusing homeless people, and the other time it was because I'm sunning my butthole. Remember he got in all that trouble for the homeless people? He wasn't abusing.
They were like throwing shirts on homeless people and stuff.
They were putting shirts
shopping
on
carts, right?
Sleeping,
or what was
I think I don't want
from CrossFit Main Streets, right? They were putting the shirts.
They're putting shirts
sleeping
on
homeless people
sleeping
and taking
homeless
photos.
people and taking photos.
Oh my goodness!
And it said CrossFit, and the next thing you know, Glassman's calling Ronnie like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Oh my goodness!
Making national news.
Do you know about that, Selby?
Ronnie's the funniest person in the world.
Oh my god,
he really is. Anyway, so you're moving on now. Your competitive career, you're now 1-time mom, 2-time mom on the way, and that's not going to stop you. I mean, that doesn't stop some women. You got like Val, and I think Val did the games 9 months pregnant or something. But
I remember that. I swear, I was like 12. She was like nursing and eating out on the floor. I was like, what?
She's ridiculous. But where's your level right now? What?
Oh, well, I'm right now.
Well, not right now, but prior to.
So I haven't trained competitively since before the 2015 CrossFit Games. So we're going on like 5 years now.
You had an accident. Didn't you have a car accident years ago?
I had a car accident in 2012. And I competed in the games on a team in 14 and 15. But in 15, during the games, I tore my ACL.
Ooh.
And so that was the point, because I think at that time, I guess I was, 33, and I had given up so much. I mean, our team was winning the games when it happened, but it kind of like...
Which team was that? I'm sorry.
NorCal CrossFit.
NorCal, okay.
Yeah, so I kind of realized, like, man, like I've been putting my whole life on hold for this, and like it's not... we were going to win, and now we're not. Like, what am I going to do? Try to rehab my knee and come back next year and keep... So that kind of like really pushed me and helped me to move on. And I never had the intention of trying to like...
Would you win as a team member? How much money?
I don't even know. Well, actually, 2 years later, most of that same team returned, and they got 4th in the games.
17.
In 17. It was like the day that I was giving birth, they were competing. Mm-hmm. And I think they got like $2,000 each or something like that, which didn't even cover close to how much it cost for them just to go out there, so it's ridiculous. But
I criticize a lot on this show that the obsession people have with exercise, like competitive exercising, to where the outcome is so minimal when it comes to like financial gain. But as much as I'm critical about that, we put people on a pedestal in the Olympics, and the same thing happens.
They all work at Home Depot.
Yeah, they do.
It's really bad.
They do. Yeah. Like I'll go to ski resorts and I'll see like Olympic skiers, working operating the lift, and I'm like, aren't you like a competitive downhiller or whatever it is? So I get that. I get how you can get obsessed in it and want to do it. I just think personally, it's like I always have to look at where's the financial gain, because especially once you have a family.
Yeah.
Where's the financial gain to this? I'm not just running around like an idiot.
I think that's one of the biggest things that's like completely, people don't speak about that enough, right? People highlight the great achievements, but when you take a look at the individual, and great, like they achieved something, but like, cool, are you happy? I think people are afraid to face their insecurities moving forward in life, like because they're so identified by that, what they've been putting their lives.
Sure. I mean, that's where they derive their significance. Yeah. I asked Froning one time about his like obsessive exercise, and he said, I think I'm an addict. Like, I think if I didn't have this, it would be something else. And so I just put my addictions, and doing the brief run I did of like an ultra, reading and finding out about the ultra community. It's made up of addicts. I mean, they're all just crazy. I mean, that's where they're getting their dopamine release. Mm-hmm. And it's not drugs or alcohol anymore, or gambling or sex or whatever it is. They've put it into exercise. And I think, when you look at someone who's a competitive exerciser, it's same thing. It's a lot of addiction.
It becomes like an identity crisis for people too, because I've seen it over and over. We see it even within the street parking community. Yeah. We have quite a few former games, like team level athletes that are members of street parking, and we kind of joke and call street parking CrossFit rehab. We're like, we don't care about your scores. We don't care if you substitute and modify. No one cares. No one's going to look at the leaderboard. No one's going to tell you good job if you win this workout. And it's really hard for people sometimes to like not get that recognition. And it takes them months. Sometimes you'll see it. I think sometimes, and not specifically Rich Froning or anyone else, but I do think there are athletes that compete that they don't know how to identify themselves as anything else. So if they try not to compete, they don't know who they are. They don't know what their value is like in the world. And so, I mean, you see people either completely fall off the face of the planet, or they're peddling random shit like CBD oils and all this stuff because they don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, a lot of them fell into it. And so now they're here and they're like, well, this is what I am. What should I do? I want to talk about what street parking is. But before we do that, I think in the evolution of a CrossFitter, there's a place after competitive CrossFitting that people get to where they go, oh, I've done some damage.
Oh, yeah.
Now I have to start looking at my health. Mm-hmm. And CrossFit, had that problem. We talk about it a lot on this show where, Glassman let it run away, and it went away and went down this games route. And a lot of people went and got injured because they were doing too much with too little. And so they got away from the health part of it, and then all of a sudden they realize, I'm fucked up. I've got all these issues now. Now I want to focus on health. I'm saying this because I'm one of them. I was never competitive. I was never good. But, obviously I thought I was, and I was fucking myself up every day doing Outlaw Way or whatever I would do.
Oh, man.
And then that program gets trashed more than any other program.
Wow.
But then you start looking health. And I think that's age also. Like, I'm a lot older than you guys, but you are, 30 years old, and it's right about when you're like, I'm not invincible anymore. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Holy shit. And when I always say that people that we should put on a pedestal are the masters athletes, the ones that are able to do it without drugs, because there's about 4 of them. They're all on testosterone. I'm sorry. Man. There's no fucking way you can do what they do. I was out with an expert last night. We were talking. There's no way you're 60 years old and you're doing like 40 muscle ups for time. Sorry. And we're allowed though. We're a TRT replacement. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. So they're freaks though. And they're the anomalies, but for the most part. So explain street parking, because I have a feeling you're filling that void.
Yeah, so I think that with what you're talking about, being an OG, I guess, kind of, I do feel that I was at a huge advantage coming into competitive CrossFit because when I started CrossFit, there was no such thing as competitive CrossFit. So the reason that I started doing it and the reason that I started using it with my training clients is because I love the simplicity of it. I love the intensity. It wasn't about like, no one did double days. I remember the first person that I knew that worked out twice a day was Kristen Clever. Mm-hmm. And we became friends in like 2009. So I had already been in CrossFit for like a year and a half. And I went to stay with her for a week and she was training like 2-3 times a day. And I was like, no, like I can't. I had never even heard of somebody doing that before. So I think having that background kind of helped us and helped me transition out of it a lot easier because when I started, I trained once a day and now I'm just back to doing that. And it was the class workout and now we work out at home. And
do you remember I don't know if you were there, you might have been the Tahoe.
Yeah, I was there.
And when Castro was doing like a session talking with everyone, he goes, how many of you work out more than once a day? And a couple guys like raised their hand and he's like, how many of you work out 3 times a day? And I forget what athlete. He just like looks at me. He's like, what the fuck? Like, you guys are working out 3 times a day? And and I remember watching that going like, I have a lot of time. I'm a comedian. I do a show for an hour a night and then I'm like, oh, what am I going to do for 23 hours? And I'm like, I don't have who has time to work out 3 times a day? And, that's what I had Hinshaw on the show and he was talking about Froning. He's like, Froning was the first guy working out 3 times a day. And that's why he beat everyone because he was an endurance athlete.
The recovery.
Yeah, he knew how to handle it. And he goes, no one else, he blew them all out because they didn't know. He goes, now it's different because they're all doing that. Mm-hmm. And but I'm sorry, I keep interrupting. I want to know what street parking is exactly.
Okay, yeah. So when we met, he was still training to compete. I was in my knee brace, literally. So it was a couple months after the games. I think like 3 months after the 2015 games that we met. And we started dating. Obviously, he lived about an hour and a half away from me. So he lived in northern LA and I lived in Newport Beach.
Okay.
And so...
where were you working at the time?
I was working still for CrossFit on the seminar staff and for Progenics.
Okay.
Which their offices were in Costa Mesa. So we were driving back and forth to each other a lot of times. There was a lot of traffic involved. I was still traveling a lot. He was still trying to train, but he had a meal prep business in Southern California as well. And he was coaching at the gym. So we were just very busy. And what we noticed was a lot of times if I was staying at his house and we didn't want to drive to the gym because LA, and we posted just working out in his garage, something simple, we would get like a huge response from that. People tagging each other like, oh, we should try this workout because it was like dumbbells or very minimal equipment. I traveled a lot. So if I posted a workout in a hotel gym and showed what it was, I got a lot less, you're amazing, and a lot more, hey, I could do this workout, which is, it's great because I've always said these athletes, they're not coaches, they're entertainers. They're not, you can't look at what, I don't know, Sam Briggs is doing and being like, oh, I'm going to go, do that or whatever. No. So they're entertainers at some level. And this brought us back to being coaches. And actually what we were posting was helpful and people could go do it. And so I had the idea, I said, we should create like a separate Instagram account and just post these simple workouts so people can follow along with them. I think people would really like it. Like there's people who travel a lot and are busy. In no way, shape, or form were we thinking about parents at this time. Neither one of us related to parents. It wasn't something that was in our plan or anything like that. We had just started dating like less than a year. So I came up with the name Street Parking because if you work out in your garage, you park in the street.
It's hilarious.
To this day, we still have to explain it to our members all the time.
It's funny though. It's so true. We're always moving the cars.
Yeah.
I'm like, can you get your car out of the garage? And she's like, but your car is blocking my car. I'm like, well, okay, I'll go move both cars.
So that just kind of is what we called it. And our goal was like, then it became a subscription thing where on January 1st, 2017 was the very first ever official paid subscription workout. And we put it on our Instagram and on the Street Parking Instagram, which had been up for like less than 2 months. And thought $19 a month, that's cheap for people. We'll post a workout a day and we'll show different equipment options. So if people do have a barbell, we'll show them. Or if they do have dumbbells, we'll show them that so that it can work for anyone. And there'll be a leaderboard. We use Wodify. And yeah, there can just be like this community of busy people who want to work out but can't get to a gym. We had like 700 people sign up in the first month.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, our goal was 100 people. And it's just kind of, it was never intended that I would leave my job or that he would sell his meal prep business for us to come do this. We found out like 2 days after we started the Instagram account that I was pregnant. And the conversation was like, well, there went that idea because, again, my identity was CrossFit Games athlete, Miranda's abs, right? Yeah. I was like, no one's going to want to hear my programming now. Like, I'm going to be this pregnant lady. And, but it had the exact opposite effect because half the people on planet Earth are women and 90% of them will have a child at some point. And so, you know, that's a pretty big demographic. So, yeah. And here we are today.
Yeah.
So you're doing, it's online programming.
Yes.
And you've got this whole studio here. So where do you shoot the stuff that you post videos and stuff?
Yeah, we still film it all at our house.
Do you really?
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'm a very I have gone through every evolution of production where I built a production company. I had a studio and a bus. I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And as you see now, I carry.
Yeah, we shoot all our stuff through all our workout demos with our iPhone.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I always say, and I made a documentary film one time, and the director that worked with me, producer, made the movie The Aristocrats, which is like one of the funniest films. Not The Aristocats, The Aristocrats. And it was the highest selling film at Sundance. And he said to me at one time, I kept talking about, oh, we don't have the right camera today. We can't shoot. We need these lav mics and he's like, shut up. He's like, it's all content. People don't care anymore. They don't care how it's shot. You know, you'll always have people bitching. But he said, for the most part, content is key. Content is key. And I've always said, my theory on CrossFit is, I always say if there were two CrossFit gyms and one was the best facility in the world with a shitty coach, or one was the shittiest facility with the best coach, which one would you want to go to? And you want to be the best you're going to be, which one are you going to go to? And smart people always go, I'd go to that coach. And I'm like, that's what it's all about. And that's what Glassman taught in the beginning. But the games made you have to buy 70 sets of 35-pound dumbbells. Yeah. And every gym became a Globo gym. And it's all about the content. What is the content? Who is the coach? What are they giving you? Are you getting quality information from them? And that's great, though. I love that but you've got, this is a pretty intense facility you've got here. I mean, the media, the production.
Well, you know, what's funny is that when we first stepped in here, because we were working at Starbucks for so long, that was our, let's go to Starbucks and do our work. Yeah,
we moved from SoCal up here because we realized we were living in one of the most expensive places in the country with an online business, and that there was no need. Point. Right. Yeah, so we came up here, but it was still just the two of us and one of his buddies.
Julian, you're from here, though. This is
from Tillamook, yeah.
Okay.
Which is not 90 miles away from, it's on the coast. Okay. Yeah.
Nice. So this is kind of.
It is. So then we started looking because we're like, let's get out of here. There's no point, and we started looking at Oregon originally, but then realized that you're not escaping the taxes still being in Oregon. Yeah, you get no sales tax, but, they make up for it on income tax and state tax.
So you're right over the border right here.
Yeah, so right now we're in Washington where there's no state income tax.
Nice.
So that was a huge thing for us. And we're like, let's just go check it out. We came to look at some homes, realized all this side was up and coming tech companies, as you saw, like all right, so we're 2 miles away from here in one of the nicest neighborhoods in Vancouver, which is crazy because we're paying way less than if we would have, way less. We're like, wow.
We're paying less than we were paying
for double the home.
Our tiny little track home in Irvine. So
yeah, it's LA people. If I tell people what I paid for my house, they're like, "Are you fucking?"
They think you're a billionaire if you tell them.
I'm like, no, I'm the poorest guy in the neighborhood.
So yeah, we just made those decisions. We were like, let's just start being a little bit smarter with our future. and just quality for us and what we want in our future with our family and stuff. So we came out here, and then working at Starbucks. Then we were like, okay, we're starting to bring multiple employees. It's time to we would go to the Starbucks and it was like 7 of us, and the crew. We kept telling the people that were working there, like, do you guys really don't mind if we're here? Because like we would show up and take a whole corner of Starbucks.
That's hilarious.
And then at that point we realized, okay, it's time for us to go look at some space, because we weren't going to pull operation to our home, because then work and home, you just don't want to do that. And then
not even 2-year-old child.
Yeah, and so we came and look at this, and we walked in. We're like, this is too big. This is too big. And we're freaking out. And now, a year later, we're like, this is too small.
You have a serious operation here. I've got to take some pictures.
I don't think people expect this. They don't expect this at all.
I mean, because like I said, there are some aspects of this whole world that you can be a minimalist and still do it. Like the fact that you're doing it on your iPhone, shooting it, why then all this?
So our thing is community and actually communicating with our members. So we have 18,000 members now. And
holy shit.
Our support staff is, I think, like 5 or 6 people now, just answering emails and helping people. And we have a private Instagram page and a private Facebook page. So when they join, they're adding them to it. And if they cancel, they're taking them off of it. And they're a large part of what we do, though, is we're very present on all of our social media platforms. And that takes a lot of people, because people are using the hashtag street parking so much. And we do very interactive, like, challenges and just things like that. So
did you start all this with just the money you made from the early subscription, or did you get startup money? I mean,
No startup money, which is where
just the money we had in our bank accounts.
Money had our bank accounts, and then during the meal prep business, I would exchange.
Which meal prep business was?
So it was called Fiero's Kitchen.
Okay.
It's still there in LA.
It's still there. We would just exchange food for some of the work.
So when I was working at Progenics, we had access to a fantastic graphic designer that was making all the Progenics shirts and everything. We had access to the person who was in charge of building the Progenics website and their photographer. They were all my coworkers.
Right.
They loved his food. So we would just literally pay them.
That's awesome.
Like, our logo to this day was created in exchange for like
that's a cool logo.
A week full of meals.
That's hilarious. But that's
and now
I trade shit for food.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah. Good, healthy food.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And now 2 of them are our employees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The photographer and the graphic designer, the branding designer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've got to interrupt the show again. If there's one thing I know, it's traveling. Why? Because I do it constantly. I feel like I'm a connoisseur of suitcases, and I found one that I love. I have a backpack that I love, and now I have a suitcase that I love. I could talk about the backpack later, but right now I want to talk about my new overhead compartment suitcase, which is incredible. It's called Away, and Away suitcases are probably the perfect suitcase. They look amazing. They feel smaller than they are. Like when you open it up, it's huge. When you close it, it's small. It's like magical. So it fits in the overhead compartment so well, and it looks awesome, and it's a spinner. You always want a spinner, guys, don't you? You love the spinner. I love a spinner. Love a good spinner. No, I do, because you're doing many things. You're on your phone. You're grabbing a briefcase or a suitcase a briefcase or a backpack. You want to have a spinner that can just keep rolling on its own. You can push it forward. You can get it down the aisle of a plane. Spinners are the best. 4 wheels, gotta have it. And then boom, this one goes right in the overhead compartment. It looks amazing. And I had 2 people ask me when I was in the airport, what kind of suitcase is that? I really like that suitcase. I've never had anyone ask me about my suitcase before. So Away offers a range of suitcases made of different materials like polycarbonate, aluminum, and durable nylon. I like the polycarbonate. They come in a variety of colors, and they've got 2 different carry-on sizes. So, whatever you want, they got something for you. Check them out. They are designed to last a lifetime with their durable exteriors, and they can withstand even the roughest of baggage handlers. So if you're putting them under the plane, and guys are throwing them around. You don't have to worry. And and they're so cool because they're organized inside. So, like you can put stuff here and there. And I could talk to you about this for hours because I just love packing. Love it. I'm about to go do it because I'm going to Alaska tomorrow. They've got a little laundry bag that's removable to put your dirty clothes in. It's just perfect. It's the best. TSA approved, combination locks, and they're designed to last a lifetime. If any part of your suitcase breaks, Away standout customer service team will arrange to have it fixed or replaced, and there's also a 100-day trial on everything. Try it. 100 days. You don't like it? Send it back. Okay? Full refund. And so here's what you got to do. Go. This special offer is only to you guys for listening to this show. If you want to get $20 off any suitcase or bag, visit awaytravel.com/wadcast. That's awaytravel.com/wadcast. Use the promo code WADCAST during checkout. I'm going to say one last thing. I bought the most expensive piece of luggage you can have, I think, and it fell apart on me. Away.com is a way lot better. See what I did there? This new suitcase, they're affordable too, is so much better than the most expensive suitcase out there. So check it out. That's away.com. Oh, I'm sorry, awaytravel.com/wadcast. Use wadcast at checkout. Okay? awaytravel.com/wadcast. All right, guys, I'm interrupting the show right now to talk to you about your health. That's right. None of us want to get old, but we all are. But we don't have to, maybe. Yeah, there's been some breakthroughs. And if you listen to podcasts as much as I do and follow a lot of these doctors, you'll find one of the topics that people are going to is a thing called NAD plus. And there's a company called Elysium, and they've developed a product called Basis. It's their flagship supplement, and it's been, 25 years of research they've been doing on this product. If you go into Google and just look on any of the videos going on, you'll see this. Basis is basically, it's a proprietary formulation of crystalline nicotinamide riboside and pterostilbene. Now, if you're like, what the hell did I just say? Google it. Check it out. Just look up NAD+. What these do, they support cellular health by increasing and sustaining NAD+ levels and activating sirtuins. Sirtuins are kind of like what happens when you fast and you do the caloric deficit kind of thing, and your cells, when we talk about, I don't think it's autophagy, but it's when your cells kind of clean up. NAD+ is, it's in all our bodies, and our levels decline by as much as 50% by the time we're middle-aged. And NAD+ is estimated to be involved in over 500 different cellular reactions in humans, and they play, a key role in cellular metabolism and cellular energy production, and they support mitochondrial health. So this is critical. This is, the sirtuins are, they're involved. I'm talking a lot of science here, and I'm not a scientist. All I know is if you look in the top experts, they're all talking about this. All of this stuff happens, the sirtuins, and they stimulate the activity of the mitochondria, but they only function in the presence of NAD+. And your NAD+ is going away. It is declining. So you want to get this, you want to get that up. This has been created by Dr. Leonard Guarente, who's the director of the Glenn Center of Biology of Aging Research at MIT. MIT's no joke, people. These guys have made some scientific breakthroughs, and here's what you're going to expect. If you want to take this stuff, all right, here's what you should expect. It's working at a cellular level, and you know that because of the clinical study. And many of the benefits of increased NAD+ are things you won't feel, including enhanced mitochondrial function, active sirtuins, but this is proven through studies. But Basis customers have reported experiencing higher energy, better sleep, more satisfying workouts. So that's what you're all looking for. We're talking about recovery all the time. This is what you want. Taking the supplement Basis by Elysium Health, small change that can have an outsized impact on your health because it increases levels of a molecule that's fundamental to life. Your cells use it for hundreds of biological processes. What are you waiting for? This week, listeners can get $45 off a 6-month to 1-year subscription to Basis by visiting trybasis.com/wadcast. That's try, T-R-Y, basis, BASIS.com/wadcast. Use the promo code WADCAST. That's trybasis.com/wadcast and the promo code WADCAST. Go do your own research. Check it out. I'm sure after you read all this stuff, if you want to live a long, fulfilling life, you're going to try this out at trybasis.com/wadcast. Promo code WADCAST. Oh, I have to stop the show to tell you how good I smell today. Oh my God, do I smell just delicious. I mean, you just want to eat me. That sounds gross. But you know what I smell like today? Can you guess? Can you guess what I smell like? I believe I smell like roses. That's right. I smell like rose because I used native deodorant in rose scent. Why did I use rose scent? I don't know. That's just the one that was out, and I like them all. They come in all different beautiful, beautiful smelling deodorants. They've got coconut and vanilla, which is their most popular. They've got lavender, rose, cucumber and mint, eucalyptus and mint. I use the cucumber and mint a lot too. This deodorant, what is it? It's all natural. Shouldn't put anything on your body that's not all natural. Do not, whatever you do, don't put on stuff that has like any perspirant and has aluminums or any of that talc, any of that stuff. Why would you do that? Go check out Native. Native is safe, simple, and effective. You should be using all natural stuff. If you're a CrossFitter, you care about your health, you're all about, being healthy, then be careful what you put on your body. So, this is formulated without aluminum, no parabens, no talc. It's filled with ingredients found in nature, such as coconut oil, shea butter. That's the moisturizer. And then there's tapioca starch. That's what absorbs the wetness. Here's a good thing. They never test on animals. And there's free shipping and returns. People love them. They've got over 9,000 5-star reviews. They've been on the Today Show. They've been in Elle Magazine, Pop Sugar. They've been in everything. Okay? Ingredients. Less is more with Native. Simple ingredients. Aluminum free. Safe and effective. And comes in all different smells. All right? So check them out. No risk to try. They offer returns, free returns, and exchanges in the United States. So try it out. Just go, it didn't work for me. Get your money back. You know what? But I promise you're going to like it. So here's what you do. You want to get this special offer. You want to get this special offer? Listeners of the show, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to promo code WADCAST. You're going to use the WADCAST code at nativedeodorant.com. You use WADCAST in the promo code, you're going to get 20% off your first purchase. Go to nativedeodorant.com. Use the code WADCAST. That's native, N-A-T-I-V-E, deodorant.com. And you're going to smell good, you're going to be happy, and you're going to be healthy, and you're going to thank me. Nativedeodorant.com. Now let's get back to the show.
So we have your background. You were a wrestler or something?
Yeah, so I did wrestling. I mean, I did sports in general. Soccer and wrestling were what I identified with growing up. And then just working out in general has been a part of me.
You moved to LA though. You were an actor.
Yeah, I went to go pursue acting, which I think like a lot of people go to LA to become actors or something. And I had books and projects, which was great, but I knew I wasn't passionate about it. Yeah, it was something that I went because people thought it would be a good idea for me to go, oh, you're a good looking Hispanic, go over there, go use your looks. And you're like, oh, thank you, assholes. I have more value. But so you're over there like trying to like do these auditions and, being super metro. Yeah. And
I just heard Ed Norton on Joe Rogan's podcast say, inside every great actor is a great actress.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was threading my eyebrows, like just it was all
Awful. So I've done some acting, and as a comic, they just automatically. I mean, I was doing comedy, I think 1 year, and they told me I should try out for Saturday Night Live. They're like, we'd like to, and I was like, I'm not ready. And I didn't try out till I'd been doing stand up 3 years. I got called in to go try out for Saturday Night Live, and at that point, all I wanted to do was, I didn't even know what my business was, that I could do comedy, and I started making money. It was one of those, like, it just randomly happened.
Yeah.
I fell into it. They gave me money. I'm like, you just gave me money for this. And they're like, can you come back next week? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was like, can you go here? And can you fly here? And could you? And I was like, I never thought this was going to happen, but it was awesome. I was getting paid to just, if they weren't paying me to do comedy, I'd be sitting in a bar, drinking, paying, and doing the same shit, just talking to people. So I was like, I'll take your money and go drink in a bar and talk to people and go meet chicks and have the best time of my life. So I fell into it. And then the acting thing, they were like, you should act. You should do this. And I did a whole bunch of commercials and some sitcoms, and I hated it.
It's the worst.
I hated it.
It's the worst.
I hated sitting in a trailer. I hated memorizing lines. I still love the business, and I always try to get deals to make shows. Yeah. But that's what I want to be on the other side.
I remember, I think what was fun is just the relationships that you made more than anything. Yeah. That's what I remember. Yeah. Like, I got to make good friends during that time. And, but once I got into CrossFit, that's when I realized, okay, like clearly my passion's in fitness, because it was taking me away from even focusing on auditions and all that stuff.
But you were in the sequel of one of the greatest films of all time.
The remake.
Oh, the remake.
The remake, Red Dawn.
Yeah, the greatest film.
Oh, thank you. The remake was definitely not.
Was there a remake?
They tried. Yeah.
I mean, was there a sequel? There was never a sequel. There was Red Dawn. I don't know if there was Red Dawn 2, was there?
They made a remake. They remade it, and that was in the remake that MGM made.
Okay.
Yes.
See, I grew up on Red Dawn.
Yeah, it was. I mean, back in the day, it was legit.
Good. It was fucking awesome.
It was awesome.
That was Wolverine.
Yeah. So, and then you realize you're like, okay.
I mean, when the Cubans are invading, you have to go up to the mountains.
Well, the thing is now, like they killed me in the movie, and I was like, well, stereotypical. Take the color people out.
Who invaded in the remake?
North Koreans.
North Koreans. Yeah, we have to be worried about that.
It was
I want to make it realistic.
So and then moving past that, I was just.
That had to be pretty fun, though.
There was fun, there was some fun stuff. The travel was cool because, then there's another film that I shot was in Barcelona, which I got to take my mom with me. And so it was kind of like those were the things that I actually valued more.
Yeah. Just
getting to experience the world a little bit more and being like treated, you get to stay in these top hotels and you're getting treated the best.
Yeah.
But then you realize you come home and you're like, okay, this is reality, so.
I read somewhere that Kevin Bacon, after he filmed Animal House, had to go back to his job waiting tables.
Oh my God.
Like he was waiting tables because he didn't know that it was going to be such a huge hit. So and he was like, I got to get my next dollar. Yeah. And then the movie came out and it was a huge hit. And he's like, fuck all of you.
Oh, man.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. But it's just, I'm glad I experienced it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I moved past it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I say about all my ex-girlfriends.
Yeah. A lot of things in life. For sure. Yeah.
So street party, give me an average workout. What would be a typical workout for the day?
I mean, so this morning we all did 2 rounds, run 400 meters, 50 kettlebell swings, run 400 meters, 75 air squats. That's like a super basic Saturday. It's tomorrow's Saturday workout. We did it in teams where you were doing your like swings while the other person was running or whatever. I mean, yeah, what's another?
So let me summarize street parking, and then we can dive into a workout. So
we're from one workout.
We're an online fitness program / community where it was created for people with very limited time, space, and equipment. Where all you need is a pair of dumbbells, and you can do every single workout.
Yeah.
With that, we have different versions of the main workout, which we have a program A, which is dumbbells. Program B, if you have a barbell. Or program C, if you have a little bit more of a decked out gym, bike rower, and or sandbag. And so every workout can be done with each piece of equipment, and we add modifications, subs, scales, everything.
Yeah.
So
it's basically what if I owned a CrossFit gym right now, I would just sign up for street parking and tell my coaches just to read all the information, because it's literally like, oh, we don't have this. Well, here's 4 different subs for it. Or so-and-so's new. Like, well, I don't know what to have her do. Well, we put that in the explanation. If you're new, this is how you should choose your weight. This is how many reps you should do, or this is how long each set should take you. If it's taking you longer than that, either lower the reps or lower the weight. We also have a shift version of the workout every day, which is like for super beginners or for pregnant moms or newly postpartum moms. My mom, who's 67 years old and has had a double knee replacement, she does the shift version. And it's not a different workout. So the dumbbell version isn't one workout and the barbell version isn't a different. It's all the same workout, but it's just different subs and modifications to make it work for the level that you're at and what you have. And so, yeah, I mean, technically it's no different than walking into the gym and modifying the workout for whoever's in there,
right,
which takes experience as a coach to kind of know how to do. And it's not something that a lot of online programs do. They just post up the workout and then it's like...
It's something, for someone like me, it's great because there's so often, like I got off the plane yesterday and I had to get to my show and I only have a small amount of time. I'm in a hotel.
Yeah.
What do they have? What can I... And most gyms do have a few dumbbells.
Yeah.
Or now they all think they're cool by getting kettlebells. And I'm like, can you just go back to dumbbells? It's a little more...
They don't know.
Yeah, they really don't. They just try to be the hippest, coolest thing. I'm like, no one that comes in here is going to know how to use those. Get the dumbbells, you idiots. But someone like me, and I've often thought about that, like with a travel schedule that's as intense as mine, it's really hard. And I used to beat myself up when I was trying to be good at it because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go out and do like a run, squat, push up workout and it's not going to be enough.
Yes.
Yeah. And now I'm like, got to do a run, squat, push up workout. That's going to be tough.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I worked for CrossFit for 8 years on their seminar staff. I think I worked something like 300 seminars.
Oh my God.
All over the world. Yeah. And I was trying to be competitive at the same time. And I learned from that the importance of consistency and that doing those simple workouts, just as long as you stay consistent, can actually maintain a level of fitness that most people think requires a lot more than it actually does. Yeah. So I learned that through that whole process and have never really questioned it at all. I mean, it's even taken him some time to like even believe that he would be able to maintain the level of fitness that he has with just our one workout a day. The workouts are, I think sometimes people assume because they're used to Outlaw Way or whatever other program, they look at them and they're like, oh, these workouts are too easy. But anyone that's understands intensity looks at, like yesterday's workout was 4 rounds of 12 power cleans, 15 thrusters with 95 pounds. And it's like...
That sounds awful.
Oh, yeah,
exactly,
absolutely.
because right?
Absolutely.
But anybody that's used to seeing like whatever, I'm not going to call out certain programs, but whatever, part A, lifting, part B, this, part C, cash out.
Accessories.
They think
So
like,
much.
oh, that's going to be more effective.
Right.
And they'll but it's effective for what?
Yeah.
Like, what are you using it for? So
I think for us, we've been given a platform now to show to people, especially being that we've gone to the games. And they look at us, and now we like to set the example with people. But not only just like that, these workouts are extremely effective. Like I'm flat out admitting I work out once a day, and I clean up my nutrition, and I've been able to maintain my fitness level and my size. Now, give me 2 or 3 workouts a day, I'm wrecked. I will sleep in. I will be in aches and pains. Yeah. It's just. But then I rewind, and I'm as in shape as I need to be in this life. Like, I'm good. Yeah. And for Miranda, too, like, going through her fitness level to being pregnant, going back to her fitness level to being pregnant again, and her sharing that journey. And we're just very open with, like, yes, this is what we do. This is our lifestyle. It's not, like, what are your goals? Like, what are you trying to achieve? Yeah. That's why we protect our community so much. And that's why we have the staff that we do, because when people come in and try to add this cancerous energy where like they get so consumed in the leaderboard and time and like all this over the topness that doesn't belong, like No, those are the people that we actually, will delete comments that are inappropriate. We'll reach out to them and be like, if this is not the community for you, we'll be glad to refund you your money, because this is a community where we spread the message more than nothing. Just get movement in your day to day, because a lot of the times that is going to help you overcome a lot of obstacles in your way. Like you just said right now, I used to think that push-ups, squats, and this and that wasn't not enough. And now you realize, no, that is enough. Mm-hmm. And I feel fucking great. And I got my workout in. I feel awesome and cool. On to my life.
Yeah.
Fitness is not my life. Fitness is just a piece of your life. And we're going to take care of that for people.
It's funny. I think a lot of the OGs from CrossFit have all branched off and gotten into this kind of world, like a James Fitzgerald or, I went to see him and saw his whole operation, and he was like, yeah, I still train games athletes, but I'm not doing that. And he's like, and I wouldn't, if they want to go do that, they can go do that. Mm-hmm. He's like, but this is where it is. Mm-hmm. This is the space that we all belong in and where we should be working. And I think with, as everybody started to understand how important sleep and food. I mean, I always knew from like running as a young kid, like peaking and, from sports and overtraining. And then when I started doing CrossFit, I'm like, this just seems like so much overtraining. But they're like, oh, you'll adapt. And I'm like, I'm not adapting. I'm getting sick like twice a month. Yeah. I'm sore all the time. I surf a lot. I would go to paddle out. My friends that suck are paddling circles around me. And I'm like, I can't.
Oh, yeah.
How am I fit?
Yeah.
Like, I know I can go in the gym and I can climb a rope 12 times, but how does that help me if I can't go surf tomorrow? Yeah. And I kept finding that there was too much, and there's this like sweet spot. Mm-hmm. There's a sweet spot you got to find where it's not overtraining, it's not undertraining, it's somewhere right in the middle. Mm-hmm. And so I love stuff like this. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Alchemy 365. They're doing a really nice thing, which combines like yoga and kind of a CrossFit hybrid. Mm-hmm. And it's all about like all the movement. Then you do a Metcon, then you do more yoga. And I walked out of there. I was like, I feel great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Instead of I feel wrecked. Yeah. And now I'm not going to be able to hold my kid. Yeah. Because my wife's going to hand it to me and be like, my arms are too sore. Yeah. I can't hold the baby. I'm in so much pain, and getting out of bed, I'm like, and I've kind of deviated. I don't follow any CrossFit program for the last probably 3 years. I've never felt better.
Yeah. And I think part of like what we ran into or still run into that is so different for us compared to other online programs is, I mean, do you feel like, because you've been around for a long time too, do you feel like CrossFitters became snobby or like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like
became?
like the no rep police in like a regular class with like a mom who's like just happy to be there because she got her 3-year-old to be quiet long enough so she could do this wall ball workout. And then you got like Susie telling the coach that she's not going low enough or that she wasn't counting correctly, and like people calling each other out. I mean, we have members on our Facebook group that said that like literally the reason that they're with us instead of at their gym is because that culture of like people calling each other out or making them feel like they had to go with the prescribed weight or making them feel like they weren't doing enough or going hard enough was just, it made it not fun.
I think ego is what made CrossFit as big as it was, but it also hurt it in the same way. Forever I went in and would be competitive, and then at a certain point, enough injuries, I said, they'd go, what was your time? And I'd go,
I don't know.
And I would lie. I would go, like, say the workout was like 12 minutes. I'd be like, 67 minutes. And they're like, well, I'm like, put it up there. It took me 67 minutes.
Because it doesn't matter.
Because it didn't matter.
It doesn't.
It didn't matter at all. And it's funny, David Goggins says it in his book about if you don't run your own race, you're going to lose. Mm-hmm. If you try to run someone else's race. And you have to be running your own race. And when you're up there on a whiteboard going against everybody else, and you get in that competitive mode, you're going to cheat. That's why people end up using steroids. That's why people end up cheating reps. They end up doing that. And I had to break away from that because I was like, this is going to fucking kill me. Like, I'm going to end up with like an injury or something. And yes, it does. I get Glassman's whole concept of like, that's what makes you perform and get to levels you wouldn't get to. Sure, that's great. But at my age, sorry, I got too much at stake. I'm not going for the Olympics. I'm not going for the CrossFit Games. I can't take that risk. I cannot. I gotta drive my kid to school and then take her to gymnastics. And there's too much where I'm needed that I can't. And I think, there was this level of competitive. And I would get mad. I would get mad when I'd see someone that I know I'm better than. I'm like, I'm better than that guy. And I'd watch his time. I'm like, no.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
There's no way that guy did. And he's cheating. And then I had to just separate myself and be like, who cares?
Exactly.
He's cheating himself. Like, why am I mad that this guy, because he looks at you like, what's up, bro? Just beat you again. And you're like, you didn't fucking beat me. I counted your reps.
It's CrossFit rehab. I'm telling you.
Yeah. David Paradiso. Do you know David?
Yeah.
I used to work out at his gym a lot. He had a camera in his gym, a security camera.
Nice.
And he goes, one time, just for fun, I looked on the security camera. And he's like, I looked at the workout. And he goes, it's amazing how many people cheat.
It is. And it's either because they want to win or because they just don't want to do it anymore.
That's me. That's me.
I've done that.
I would cheat to go,
okay, can I just be done?
never going to make it out of
28's close enough to 30. Or, I mean, I had somebody, I was pregnant during the Open last time I was pregnant. I mean, I guess both times. But when I was pregnant with our first, we went to several gyms during the Open. He still had his meal prep business, so he would cater like the Friday Night Lights. Mm-hmm. And I was visibly, I want to say I was like 5 months pregnant.
Yeah.
But because I used to be a games athlete, right? I had the girl in the lane next to me said, I'm going to beat you. To me. And the workout was like double unders. And she was dead. And she went for it. And then afterwards she was like, I beat you. And it's that. And, because you have 2 kids and you've seen what your wife has gone through and stuff. Our community is like 70% women.
Okay.
And for your wife to be taking care of your 4-month-old and your 5-year-old, if she goes into a group of people and she's exhausted and it's like been a mission for her just to get there, the last thing that she needs to hear is someone being like, I'm going to beat you today. And it's like, are you serious? So,
she'd walk right out the door.
Yeah. And, I do think that community is important, but our community, it's more like, hey,
supportive.
Here's me doing this in my living room. You can do it. Like, make it happen. Nobody cares about anyone's times or scores. Nobody cares what weight they used or how they modified it. The only thing that our members care about and push each other for is doing the workout. Now, of course, like this morning, we did this like bench press test, and we were all within our group, we're trying to beat each other and giving each other a hard time and everything like that. That's fun and funny, and people that know each other in our community will ask for times and things, but in a fun way. We have never celebrated somebody winning a workout. We have never even like looked to see who has the fastest times in our community. And when people come in and they are used to that, we have to talk them off the ledge for a couple months.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We used to, years ago, we were talking about it, and we wanted to make shirts, Wadcast shirts, that just said, calm the fuck down.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like everyone, and Wellborn used to say it. He'd be like, don't get crazy. Like, don't get crazy. He's like, if your nutrition's so important, but if you're at a birthday party.
Yes.
And have a piece of cake.
Oh, yeah.
People are nuts.
Don't be a psychopath. And I think because I calmed down and you're able to maintain it. Because if you go that level, you're going to crack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're so strict with everything you do, you're just going to crack, or nobody's going to want to be around you.
Exactly.
Because you're annoying.
Or if you feel like you have to like put on like a performance every single time you just want to work out, and you have to, if you're used to being in the top 5 on the leaderboard, and we've had members say like, I would not go to the gym because I knew I wasn't going to get a good score, so I just wouldn't work out at all.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that's so sad.
I cherry pick workouts. When I get to town and I want to go to a gym to work out, I will look at all the websites and find the workout. Not that I'll do the best. The one that I'm like, I'm not going to die. Like some of them I look at, I'm like, what, are they insane? No way am I doing that. At one time I was there's a bunch of movements that I've just stopped doing. I still do them occasionally, but like I don't do handstand push-ups anymore. Just I don't want to take the risk. And it's too much like spinal compression, you know, coming down and slipping or whatever. I just don't want to be like that. But and I get it. Whatever's right for anybody else, go for it. But just it's for me. I don't like to snatch because I'm just not proficient in it. But like I never got good at it and I don't want to take the risk. And so one day I crushed some guy in a gym and he owned the gym. And I just and he was getting mad at me. There were sit-ups and he kept like yelling. This is the owner of the gym. He's yelling at me. And I'm like not paying attention. I'm not going to tell you where.
What was he saying?
But he was like, "That's a no rep on a sit-up."
Oh man!
And I was like, "How many?" And it's something that I'm good at. And I'm like, "How many do you want me to?" I'm not here to compete with you. And I'm like, "Whatever, dude." So I like beat him that day in the workout. And the guy was probably a much better CrossFitter than me, way better. And I come in the next day and he's programmed the workout. I know specifically for me. And it's like I'm in this town for like 4 days doing shows. I come in the next day and I'm like, oh my God, this guy, I hurt his ego so bad. And it's like heavy snatch, you know, like all this stuff. Because I beat him in like body weight kind of stuff. So he's like, I got this fucker.
Oh,
you know,
man.
and he's like, so as we're warming up, he goes to me, how's your snatch? Like,
Oh my God.
and I go, I don't know. I don't do it. And he goes, what? He goes, why not? And I go, it never got me laid and it never made me money. And I go, so I don't do it.
Yeah.
And he goes, then why do you even CrossFit?
Oh gosh.
I go, because I have a 2-year-old daughter that I want to live long and be able to do fun things with her and take care of her well into life. And he actually like stopped and he looks at me and he goes, good answer. Like at least he so badly wanted to go against me. And I thot the best way to diffuse him was, I don't even do it, dude. Yeah. I won't even, you're not going to get your fun of competing with me. And
you know, I get the same thing. So I'm pregnant now. And if I had $1 for every DM that I got per day saying like, hey, I'm 27 weeks pregnant. I can still do bar muscle ups. Like, should I do them? Or I can still do handstand push-up, whatever it is. And I always just say, my answer is always the same. Well, I don't do those when I'm pregnant. It's not that I can or can't. It's just there's 1,000 other ways to stay fit right now. Why do you need to do that? Like, what benefit is that bringing you or your child or your life right now?
I would just answer back, what do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Use some
You're
common
asking me,
sense.
yes.
Yeah, what do you think? Do you think that's smart?
And they'll be like, well, so-and-so games athlete pregnant, you know, the people that you were talking about earlier, they were doing it. And it's like, that's fine. Like, you're asking me, what do? I don't do any of that. I substitute so many things. I can stay extremely fit without doing anything dangerous to my child for a year, and it's fine. You know.
Imagine, you know, it's like, you've got a little injury. It's called a baby. What's going on? Are you going to nurse the injury or are you going to keep hurting?
They'll just keep hurting it. They don't care.
Yeah, it's a lot of people lose their mind in this. It was funny that when CrossFit came about, it was like this like magnet for everyone with like a small mental problem. To this community of people like, oh my God, there's people like me. And I didn't know they were all like this around the world. And I think that's why it had its meteoric rise was everybody came together with like, there's other weirdos like me.
Absolutely.
And there's a giant, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And, you know, cause I remember when I found it, I was like, what? These people do this weird shit that I like. And I think that's what it was. It was, you get out of like college sports and all of a sudden there's nothing really to do. There were like 10Ks and triathlons.
Right.
And you don't want to do that shit. You don't want to look like you're from Somalia. And you're like, okay, how can I? And then all of a sudden CrossFit's like, we'll show you.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can be you can still
Just hold on to the glory days well into your 40s.
Yeah, 40s, 50s, 60s. And it's funny, I go to towns like, I spend a lot of time in Sun Valley, Idaho, where all the billionaires live that all think they're going to live forever. And they're working on the newest float tank exercise thing that's going to take them into, they're doing mountain bike races at 75 years old. And,
oh, man.
Yeah, it's great. But that's great. People
it's
are moving and people are going
moving.
and we're all evolving. But, as you're talking about your program, I'm like, I got to get my wife on this.
Absolutely. I mean,
because I hate programming for her.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, because I don't want her questioning me. And I take it so easy on her. Like I don't, she's not doing snatches or clean and jerks or anything like that. She's doing, push press or
just get her some dumbbells.
Yeah. And dumbbells a lot. And we have a home gym that's pretty, after doing this show for years, everybody's sending me every single thing in the world.
Course.
I get, equipment just shows up at my house. I'm like, okay, let's see what we can do with a 200-pound sandbag. I was like, why are there stones in our driveway? I don't know. Somebody dropped it off here. But I make her so minimal. I'm training my sister right now, my older sister, who's, just had knee problems. And she's like, I felt short of breath. I'm like, oh, guess what we're going to be doing? Walking.
Yes.
You're going to be walking for a while. And that's the majority of the public.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where it is. And I think Glassman recognized that all too little too late. And I hate to say it, with this initiative to go back to health. And I think the brand's been damaged. Yeah,
I think so too, a little bit. And I still feel, one of our coaches in here just passed the CSCS exam, and he was telling us like all the questions on there were all very sports specific. I still, to this day, feel that the CrossFit seminars and what they do for training and things like that, you can't find a better.
No, you're right.
No,
you
can't
right.
At all. But not as many people are going to those. Just the only people who want to be coaches, I feel like more now, where it used to be just regular people would go just to learn. But yeah, the brand and what the general population sees it as is definitely not what maybe Greg had intended for it to be. And
the game's warped it. And but the seminar staff, and I know a million of them from just my travels and friends and stuff, and they are the most knowledgeable people in fitness. So incredible. Yeah. And I would, it's like, I've been doing this forever and you think you know everything. And then I talk to one of them and I'm like, I know nothing, nothing how good these guys are.
Yeah.
And so if you ever get a chance, anyone out there listening, you get a chance to work out with one of those guys. They are incredible. And it is great. It's like a great mechanism that CrossFit has. I just feel like the brand has been damaged by the ramifications of people trying to be ultra competitive.
As soon as it was on TV, as the CrossFit Games on ESPN or whatever, that's now what people associate CrossFit with. So
yeah. But we all want to be like you, and we can't. That's only 1% of the not even 0.01% can do that kind of shit. You guys are freaks. What's your kid going to be like?
Oh, he's a freak.
Man.
Right, Salvi?
Is he already doing like pull-ups?
He just doesn't know he literally doesn't know anyone in his life yet that doesn't participate in our workouts. And so he sees our whole group come over every day. He'll see us. If we're doing burpees, he's doing burpees. He was straight up doing toes to bar and burpee box jumps the other day. And he has his little dumbbells. 2. Yeah, he's like 2 years, 4 months. He doesn't, to him, it's no different than anything else that we do throughout the day.
Yeah, because even my mom's full-time nanny for him, and even she does all the workouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know. I mean, he's going to – actually, we were at from one of my friends' homes in Utah over Thanksgiving, and we were leaving her home through the garage, and he wanted to work out. We were in her garage. There was no gym equipment in her garage whatsoever, and he thought we were going in there to work out.
My daughter says that to me like right before she goes to bed. She's like, Dad, let's go do a workout. And I'm like, what? She's like, make a workout for me. And if I said to her, okay, it's 100 burpees for time, she'd be like, no. But if she wants me to set up every single piece of equipment so she can do
that's him too.
5 of these, 10 of these, 4 of these, 8 of the, like, it's the variety, and she wants to put me to work. So I'm like, no, If you want to do a workout 100,
Here you go.
run down the street back and forth 500 times. And she's like, no, Dad, come on. And the next thing I know, I'm setting up boxes, I'm making tunnels for her to climb under. And that's what it should be. And that's what, CrossFit takes us all back to like playing as kids. And it's great. And it's great for kids. I watch all these kids on their phones and I'm like, get them into, when CrossFit for Kids got kind of squashed, I was like, there's a place for somebody to pick up with. My daughter goes to a trampoline park all the time with me, and it's just play, and it's the best workout in the whole world. She has no idea that she just worked out like a monster. Yeah. And I know because I'm sitting there like, what the that was impossible. And they have like ninja warrior courses and stuff. So that's great, but it's just like throw your kid in a gym like that and let them.
Well, the kids like mimic what they see, right?
Yeah. Monkey see, monkey do.
So when they see the crew or their parents, because I think it's funny that you said the whole CrossFit Kids, because our shift program, there's so many people that post their kids just doing these workouts because they're so simple.
They're like 7 to like 15-year-old kids will do that version.
They're always tagging us that the kids are doing the workout with them, and there's all these age ranges. And when we have people that are 50 plus years old, that's when we're like, this is great. And then also kids being able to do the same thing. That's when we're like, okay, this is working. This is working. Mm-hmm. There's no fitness level that can't do this program. And I think that's why it's awesome. Our crew, everybody in our crew is very active and always posting. We are both, we are street parking. Even Salvi over here is in shock every time that we do some workouts, and he's like, I can't believe I just did that. He's like, I've been doing street parking. We're like, yes, man. It's just, it's cool.
How is your growth happening besides the community spreading it like word of mouth? Do you feel like you're growing on Instagram and social media that people like pick up on it and go, oh, what is this?
Yeah. So, we both had a big following from when we were competing, so that helped. The initial 700 people that joined were followers, obviously. Yeah. But we have, those people are now coming up to their 3-year anniversary, which for online programming, that's a really long time. Mm-hmm. And I want to say we have like 50% of those people still as active members. And because we're so active.
That's a great retention.
For 3 years, right? For online, I would think so. I don't know any other comparisons, but.
I also think it's a pretty new thing, is like online programming in the last, 5 years?
Yeah. And so I would say, because we're so active and our team is so active, and street parking as a brand or as a team is so active in responding to people on social media, it's not our posts or our Instagram. Our Instagram is where people go after they see Lucy from down the street, who you sometimes see working out in her driveway, when she posts and says, I've been doing street parking and I love it. We've talked about in meetings, we have 18,000 members who are our family, but they're also 18,000 influencers.
Sure.
Like, people have been like, oh, you should partner with this brand or that person or get this person to post about you. And we're like, why would I get this? I don't care that so-and-so has 1 million Instagram. Yeah. They don't do our program. Like, they don't know. Like, what's that going to get for us? We're going to get way more out of these 18,000 people posting and their friends and families seeing it. So that's why one of the reasons that we're so active in, encouraging them and supporting them when they do post and letting them feel the love. I think it's more word of mouth and more that than anything that we've done.
Yeah. And not only do we protect that community, right? But, when you look at this building, you're like, why would you guys, being minimalist, why would you guys need this? Also with our staff, like, there's a community now within here that we just communicate so much better. Yeah, we feel very connected. Yeah. We're all always on the same page every day, and it's great. We just bounce ideas off each other, and it all that just fuels. We create the funniest stuff, and it all just fuels it.
Where's the best place for me to follow it? Street Parking on Instagram?
Yes, we have @Street Parking on Instagram. The website is streetparking.com. There's a Facebook page too, obviously. And then we post a lot on our personal pages, the workouts and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait to check it out. One question you don't have to answer. How does CrossFit feel about you now?
So actually, this morning we programmed 2 workouts for an online charity that's raising money for pit bulls to be placed with soldiers that have PTSD.
Oh, awesome.
To help both the pit bulls, keep from being euthanized, and the soldiers with PTSD have a buddy. It's called Barbells for Bullies. We programmed 2 workouts for them. Dave Castro signed up and posted him doing the workout, tagging Street Parking.
Oh, that's awesome.
We still talk to him regularly. As far as I know, from everyone that I'm friends with that still works there, they're proud of us and they support us. And
That's great.
Even Greg is.
We feel the same way about CrossFit.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it fathered all this stuff.
Yes.
There has been a lot of hybridization of it, but I always saw that from the very beginning. Like and I know people are like, quit patting yourself on the back, Eddie. But if you do listen to like the very first episodes, Kenny Kane and I talked about what would eventually happen with CrossFit. And it was, you're going to educate all these people and people are going to go off. And at a certain point, they're not going to want or feel they need your education anymore because they're going to feel like they've learned enough that they can then go off and do their own thing. And it won't all stay under the roof of CrossFit. And it's just going to go off. But it all stemmed from this and some people that are anti-CrossFit will be like, well, it's just strength and conditioning and it came from, but no, I mean, this guy put his whole church together and, but he's here. He lives here though.
He has a house, right? In Portland?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. I know there was a talk a while ago about them moving the offices up here. I don't think they're planning on it anymore, but a couple of years ago
because his kids are here because Lauren's here and, I had her on the show.
Yeah.
And, but it was funny. I was like, I got to get Glassman while I'm here. But, he's never anywhere. The guy's like the Wizard of Oz. You never know where he is.
Yeah.
It's great. I think it's awesome. I can't wait to have my wife do it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm throwing my wife in this for sure.
She'll love it.
Because I can't give her CrossFit workouts because there's just too much shit that's too complicated and difficult, and the movements are going to be it would require way too much scaling on my part where I'm going to look at the workout and I'm going to have to do you're going to do this instead of this, and then I'm like, where's my expertise coming from? What's the stimulus here? I might have just
changed it.
Yeah And so it's just much easier outsourcing that out of my life and taking one more problem out of my life that I don't have to deal with. And so she doesn't text me and go, what's my workout today? And I go, I don't know. Go to street parking.
Exactly.
Don't ask me. That's not my job. I tell jokes. So I think it's awesome, guys. It was great meeting you. I wish you could come to my show, but no. Don't leave your house. Spend time with your kids. Just watch me on TV.
Oh, we can't wait till the
Instagram
Netflix comes out.
Yeah.
Well, we're in negotiations right now, so let's.
Yeah. What?
It's probably a for sure thing. I'm an idiot. I was offered a special a long time ago from Netflix and turned it down because I didn't think Netflix was going to turn out to be any.
Good call.
It was more complicated. They wanted to buy one of my old specials, and I wanted to shoot a new one. And they were like, no, we'll buy your old one. And I was like, no, let's make a new one.
We probably would have done both in the long run.
I kept negotiating the budget, and you have to get a budget to do it. And they were like, well, we'll only pay this for this. And I was like, let's shoot this. And we negotiated. And I'm the king of over negotiating. And a guy came in from another comedy part of the world and wasn't a fan of mine. Came in to take over Netflix and Netflix comedy, and he's like, "Oh, later, dude."
Ouch.
And
Dang.
so my negotiation. So he's now not handling this anymore. So I'm back in.
Nice.
Yeah, but we already shot one, so the presentation's done. So I'll have to go do it. But yeah. So at Street Parking on Instagram, the website streetparking.com. How did you get that?
I think
Well, we bought it. We bought streetparking.com.
yeah, because at
was
first
available.
it was parkinthestreet.com.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to buy it. And the same with the Instagram, actually. Somebody else had it. But we, as our members, it kept growing
Abused
and
them?
growing. They would
he was
tag
so angry.
because we were at street_parking at first, and people don't know that. So they were just tagging at street parking, at street parking. He would get so mad. We had to pay him for it, too.
Paid him my $500.
Oh, yeah, that's nothing.
He asked for $2,000, and then we're like, "No, we'll give you $5,000." He's like, "Cool."
I had a guy
Yeah.
call me or write me an email, and he said, "I own ift.com. Would you like to buy it?" And I was like, "How much?" And he said $5,000, and I said, "I'll give you 500 or something like that." And he was like, "Nope, 5,000 or you'll never see it." And I was like, "How about you give me your address and I come and punch you in the face?" Like I was so mad, like that you bought my name.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's really annoying.
It's really annoying.
Like what's wrong? And it was obviously somebody who saw me and just went, "I'll Google, does this exist? Buy." It cost him like $10.
I think they just sit in there and
it's
do
so
that.
wild. That's like a.
And so that made me literally want to go fight him.
It's real estate.
Yeah. It was weird, though. Yeah. Just weird that someone would buy your name.
Yeah.
So, oh well. So I'll never have if.com. But, yeah. So thanks for having me.
Of course.
I want to take some pictures of this. I think it's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good luck with everything.
Thank you.
You don't need it. Seems like it's off and running. Good luck. Good luck with 2 kids.
There we go.
Right.
That's
Enjoy that one.
Thank you.
That's the one that I'm getting a good laugh about.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.